Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another tutorial. Today I'm sharing the first page in a series that I'm creating for an art journal or scrapbook journal. The outside of my journal will be created with a few sturdy pieces of designer series paper, and the inside pages are created with full sheets of Stampin' Up's watercolor paper. This paper is pre-cut to a very manageable size, so I plan to keep the pages intact. Serene Garden stamp set is beautiful, open-lined, ready-to-color stamp set that is available in the new catalog in June. I'm applying it with my Stamparatus and some Petal Pink ink. Petal Pink is more of a neutral color than some of the other pinks that I work with, and perfect for no-line watercoloring. To get an even lighter shade, then maybe try stamping it off first and using the second generation of ink. In order to use some of the ink with my stamp pad, I've used the ink refills and am just putting a few drops into the lid of my stamp pads. These are some more new colors. I'm using Granny Apple Green and Shaded Spruce. When coloring images that are neighbors to each other, such as leaves, I tend to skip over one to go to the next one in order to allow it to dry nicely so the colors don't run together. That's how I'm able to get a nice shaded area and not have the ink run all over the rest of the images. I chose to use this stamp set because it is a new product, but also that the month of May for me represents that it's been a cold and wet month. And I thought that this stamp reminded me of wetlands. It could be changed over to where added maybe green or yellow backgrounds and some warm highlights, but because it's on my art journaling piece, I wanted to represent water. We have just finished a very long week of solid rains in the Northeast United States, and it has been very cold again as well. Our winter season stretched out really long. So because this is a journal and it's going to represent how my month has shaped up so far, then I want to use a water theme. And it's always fun to try out new stamps. With my aqua painter, I am giving it a good squeeze as I color because the paper wants to drink all the fluid up. I have a picture of my youngest son, Nate, who is actually having his birthday this month. So he is going to be 5 years old. Because it's a small photo and it's a full length, it's the perfect size for me to feature as a fussy cut image to have him standing on the page, and I can record some memories about his birthday. So during the month of May 2018, we are going to do lots of celebrating for my son's 5th birthday. And by doing that, we are going to take him to do some of his favorite things. Journaling is done with my black journaling pen, and it is an acid-free pen that is made by Stampin' Up, and they come two to a pack. The watercolor paper handles the ink very easily. I'm adding some undrawn images. They are not drawn on the stamp, but it felt like I needed to add just a little some interest to balance out everything on the flowers. Also in the stamp set is this long line of vines that I'm going to give a look of a weeping willow tree. By first stamping it onto the paper and then using my aqua painter to reactivate, I'm going to get that watery look. There's a lot of action going on in the bottom left-hand corner of the scene, and it needs a significant balance over on the upper right-hand side. I'm also going to do a little bit of doodling with my art pen, my journal pen, and I plan to add more things as the month goes on. But getting the page started is one of the pieces that I find most helpful. This is not the first art journal that I've created, but it is the first one that I am creating a video for. So if you guys are interested in how an art journal works and seeing more, then please leave a comment and let me know if this is something that you enjoy, or would you prefer to see traditional scrapbooking. I still will continue my scrapbooking, but this is a different way that I can record specifically a month in the life of my small family. My son Nate is just a tall boy. I thought maybe I should add his height as well and talk about how tall he is. To give a little texture to the page, I'm using a piece of Wood Textures Designer Series paper and curled it up a little bit just to give that watery scene the look of maybe a tree trunk or a log. And it's going to also give some grounding to the deep colors that are in the photograph versus all of the watery floral images. I'm using one of the markers that coordinates with the blue. It's Balmy Blue. And I've just mentioned that we're having cold days, and I'm going to draw a few snowflakes and raindrops. This is a more of a I would say a tone-on-tone look, because the blue is echoed throughout the piece, and I'm drawing a little pizza as well. Just little things that I can record, and I can save this journal for my kids as they get older, and they can look back and see about this month in their life. Thanks so much for joining me. All the products that I've used will be available on June 1st in my online store. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Trip. Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.